Are you airborne, Hammer?
Not yet.
Alright, we'll get you on one.
I saw a data link contact crossing our bow. I didn't know if that was you. Okay, I'm gonna cat and I'll orbit overhead.
Power. Right more full.
Alright, I'm gonna taxi to class 2.
Salute.
What's the call sign that we're running with for the strike on Wednesday?
Depends on your mission.
If you're running the strike.
Oh, strike is Anvil.
Roger.
Salute.
Anvil 1-1 spooling up.
Trying to get used to it now.
Yeah.
Run the ball 25.
Interesting. The shooter gave me the launch signal, but they're refusing to launch me, I think, because Griff is on the other cat.
Launch in 3, 2.
So interesting. They refused to launch me because Griff was on the other cat. So it's good that they have safety in mind.
You're on center line.
You guys are sitting on 3 and 4.
We were. I was on 4 and Griff was on 3. We're airborne now.
Got it.
Heading 300.
On the ball when you have it. There's center line.
Forming up for
312
7.
on the ball. Roger ball. Easy witness. SS.
Roger, I got you. Holding airspeed around 300 knots. 313 rail. 4 miles.
Same.
Roger ball 26 now.
Okay, I'll grab the lead and we'll orbit until Gravy forms up.
Okay, go ahead and ease ahead. Slowing a little.
Roger, take the lead. And let's bring it to Angels 2 and a left
Gravy
turn.
pulling up.
2.
I'll go 10 degrees nose up.
75. Our side heavy.
2 copies.
Okay, there's Angels 2.
Gravy's airborne.
Okay, Gravy, we are about northeast of the carrier in orbit.
You're high.
Roger, I got eyes on you.
Say speed.
350.
One's at 340. 340.
Roger, 340.
.377 your intervals of Hornet, so it's like 2 miles in 1.2.
Well, I would practice my runway bombing here, but then I wouldn't be able to take off.
That's a good point. Why don't you bomb the taxiway?
5 run a ball, good point 1.
Yeah, I actually don't use it. That's good.
Alright, Gravy, have you at our 9 o'clock?
Hey, it's turn.
Run a ball 7-1 John.
Saddled. 2 saddled.
Roger 2.
You want me to just hold this heading?
Yeah, why don't you just do that? If you want to start setting up your flare and your bombs.
Roger, yeah, I already took care of the bombs. Waiting for the flare to warm up.
Alright, Griff, I'm just gonna go nose on him.
Roger.
Bolter. 132 on and on.
I'm at Angel 2.
Yep, I have visual on you on your 6-ish. Okay, let's go with mass arm on, air to ground mode. Select GBU 24. We'll do the straight line first since that's the most straightforward. So choose mode,
Okay.
CLR straight line, or CR, SL.
Yep.
Mechanical fuse tail.
I'm getting a readout. This is CLARPP
Whereabouts?
on the right side of my HUD below the altimeter.
Right side of the HUD below your altimeter.
So I have air to ground selected and the GBU 24 selected.
Right below your analog altimeter?
No, on the HUD itself.
And you're getting what now?
CLAS, so Charlie, Lima, Alpha, Romeo,
Sierra
space
Lima.
PP.
Okay.
Papa.
Alright, so you're set to pre-plan mode, so press the mode button again. And find the button that says CLAR SL. It's like the second from the bottom button on the left side.
Roger ball, 25 knots. Little pound. Be easy with it. Be easy with it.
Now it says CLARSL.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, set your code to whatever code you have set.
I have to
target
reset my code.
You can set it, whatever code you have on your FLIR, set your bomb code to that.
You're on.
And you can probably turn your FLIR on now, too. It's probably warmed up, so.
Negative mark. Friendly's west 1500. Egress east through Camel.
And you might want to step through each of your bombs and enter that code too.
Yep, currently doing that right now.
Okay, go to FLIR, and I need to change the code for the UFC. So I'm changing the code for LSTC.
Roger ball, 25 knots.
You're changing the code for UFC, the one on the right.
Yeah, and then is it?
And
I got
then-
the designation LSTC.
No, you want LTDC. So turn your LTD switch to the arm
Right.
position.
Got it. Yeah, I knew there was
I'm gonna
something
start
in there.
climbing. What altitude should we be at?
Let's say about Angels 10.
All right,
Roger.
got it.
350 up to Angels 10.
Of course, I was heads down. Now I lost you. Let me take a look. Got, you're close.
Yeah, you're right at my 6. Looks like.
What's your angels?
I'm Angel 7.6 right now.
Just
Alright,
to
I'm
let you
above
guys
you.
know where the fleet is and you're headed, you're going to be closer to Sochi Adler than you will Gudauta.
Right. Want to go for Sochi.
Okay.
Alright, so everyone make a turn to 090.
Alright, we'll get you one more.
2.
090.
That should bring us directly to Sochi. Sochi Adler, that is.
You're on lineup.
And let's get up to Angels 10. So who wants to make the first run?
I'll go.
Okay.
155 panel.
Why don't you go ahead and slide, once you get to 090, slide ahead of me.
Nice work on those first few passes, man.
You're
You're
just
just and way too much
Or
power.
anything I should know? You said the symbology was different.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to see that until you lock a target on the flare.
All right.
So head 090, and then
Mhm.
use your flare to find the airfield. Just pick any hangar, doesn't really matter. Just don't pick one that hammer's at.
No, I'm not at Sochi.
Okay.
Easy with it.
All right. Turning to 090.
You're not at Adler, are you, Hammer?
Say again?
You're not at Adler, are you?
No.
Okay, we're headed towards Adler.
Yes.
Roger ball, 27. At 2 miles, you're well left from course.
Gravy, you've lost formation.
Roger, yeah, I'm coming around.
Okay, I got a target picked.
Okay, let me get one too so I can walk with it. Walk with you with it.
Alright, slowing. I was going a bit fast there. Get back down to attack speed, 400 knots. 23 miles to target. Timer counting down. 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Okay, I think I have a target.
So
Let
I'm
me
not
find where
getting
you're at.
video on my clear for some reason.
Look at a bearing of about 090085.
Contact out.
And you should be able to see it around there.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Alright, stand by. I want to know where you're at. You're at my 2
I
o'clock.
put it back to off and then turn it back on. I have to wait for it to warm back up again.
Oh, okay. That's alright, because Griff's going to do his run, so they'll give you time to warm up.
Yeah, Gravy, Adler is vector 106 from you.
Roger, 106.
Alright, Griff, I have visual on you. I'm going to slide in behind you.
Roger.
Okay, so now that you have a target that's locked in the flare,
Yep.
you have symbology. The dotted line is the same bomb fall line as before, but you notice that there are 2 horizontal lines, one on top and one below it.
Correct.
The top one is maximum range for the launch envelope, drop envelope. The bottom one is minimum range. So
Okay.
right now, you're not going to have anything because we're kind of far out, but as we get closer, do you have your HSI up?
I can put it up. I know where you're going with this. Okay.
So if you look down your HSI, you'll see a little box there showing where the launch zone is, if you have the range set. So that coincides with that top and bottom horizontal line. You're going to see a round dot marker start at the top of the bomb fall line, and it'll slide down towards the top horizontal marker.
Mm-hmm.
That's your countdown to maximum range. So right now your TMR in your HUD says what?
58 seconds.
Okay, so look above your horizontal line, the top one, and you're probably going to start seeing a dot come down on it.
When it falls between the 2 lines, pickle?
Yes and no. If you're in this automatic mode that we're in now, you can hold it down and pickle, but it's not going to drop until it hits your flight path marker, just like it usually does. If you're in override, it will drop as soon as you press the button.
I see. Okay.
Okay, now that TMR marker is going to go to 0. You'll see right when that marker hits the top horizontal maximum range marker. So it's just a physical representation of that timer.
Okay.
Still
4
not getting any
miles
video
out.
on my clear.
So you can just fly your regular run-in like you do. Just we have...
Alright,
Yeah,
I
you
got
should-
the dot.
Okay,
I got
yeah.
the dot.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because I started getting my dot too. Okay, so yeah, just center it like you usually do. And yeah, basically this is just like an auto drop as you're used to.
Got
It's
it.
just got the different symbology.
Roger, ball auto 23 knots.
Pickle?
Your laser is armed, right?
Good job.
Yep, I'm lasing.
Okay, good.
LTDR.
Okay, good.
7 seconds to laser.
Yeah, okay, that's the thing. You notice there's no time to impact counter. I don't know why. It's kind of silly. But there is a counter for how long your laser will keep firing. So
Right. 94 seconds.
so eventually you should hit.
Hit.
There you go. So that's how you do a straight line.
Okay. That works. I can do that all day.
The other nuance about it is the laser is set automatically, so if you're used to doing straight line and then you do a override, you have to hit the MFD to slave the laser to your trigger, and you have to manually laser it yourself.
Alright, I'm in hot from the west on the runway, large runway.
I'm going to show you when we get that.
On
So
the
if
plus
you go
side,
override, you have to manually laser.
yes. And
Uh-huh.
if you've been doing auto enough, you might forget that because you're so used to it doing auto. I had that happen with Hammer Saturday night. I was like, it doesn't look like they're tracking, and then I remembered, oh, so then I turned it on and goes, oh, they suddenly woke up. So,
how would I do override? I've never done override. Why would?
Why? I think in case you need to drop in a hurry, or let's say you took damage and your HUD symbology.
Southeast.
So I haven't actually had a situation in the limited time I've been doing this that would say yes, use the override, but that's what I would think.
How would you activate it?
Look on the right side of your MFD, second button down. There's a Clr OVR button just beneath the gun.
Oh, so on my stores page?
Yes.
Let me take a look at that. Hold on.
And meanwhile, I'm still not getting
I got it.
video on my Clr.
They're still warming up?
Okay.
No, it's on.
Okay.
So if I hit Clr Override, then I can drop at will. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. You don't have to wait
but I
for
would
the
have
flight
to-
path marker. You don't have to wait for symbology. As soon as
But
you
then
press
I
the
would
button,
have
it's
to
gonna go.
manually trigger the laser.
Right.
Okay. All right. Understood. All right. I'll get off channel so that you can coach Gravy up.
You're not from the east.
Alright, Gravy, take spacing from the airbase any place you want. Say, give yourself about 10 miles. Save time to set up and things.
Yeah, I'm still not getting any video.
Oh, do you have the flare set to on instead of standby?
Affirm. Yeah, flare's on, the laser one in the middle is up, and the one on the far right is also up.
Okay, did you double click your pinky switch to set the pointer to either reticle or velocity marker?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, select the flare to be the TDC. You know, put the diamond in the flare page.
It's there.
Okay, and then double click your pinky switch, or whatever you have mapped to the pinky switch.
311 safe.
I'm looking. I don't see Hammer.
No difference.
Oh, it's on the large runway?
Okay, your flare switch is on, not on standby. Oh, do you have air to ground on?
Oh, okay. I got your divot.
Yeah, I probably did them. I probably could have done them farther apart.
Nice job, man.
Are you on air to ground mode?
Affirm.
Okay, and master arm is on.
Affirm.
Power switch is confirmed on.
Affirm.
TDC diamond is in your laser or your flare MFD page.
Affirm.
Okay, so the only other thing I can think of is if your pinky switch isn't mapped. Try your pinky switch again, double click it.
Yeah, so that's the TDC press, right?
No. That's something else. It's just called pinky switch in the controls, so I don't know what you have mapped to that.
Let me jump into the mapping to go straight for pinky switch. I've never needed it before. I flew earlier today and the flare just lit right up when I turned it on, so.
Let me put mine on standby and see if I can replicate this.
My guess is maybe you have it in VV slave instead of reticle.
Alright, try double clicking it once and then double clicking it again after that.
Okay, I don't even have an option for pinky switch.
Oh. Alright, hold on, let me make sure that's the same control I have. Because maybe I'm giving you bad info. Okay, sorry. Undesignate nose wheel steering switch. Which I think the default keybind is the S key, Sierra.
Okay, I just clicked it. No difference.
Alright, double click it.
There she goes.
There we that's it. Sorry, gave you the wrong key.
Yep. And
Okay.
also you could manually use the OSB buttons on
Right.
the MFD to switch between the reticle and the VV slave, and that would bring it up.
Those are the buttons on the right, second and third from the top. While we're on that, guys, convention for OSB numbering. Now, like in the F-16, the bottom left OSB was 1, and you go clockwise 2, 3, 4, 5. But it seems like the other aircraft, OSB 1, is the top row farthest to the left. Do we have an agreement on what it should be? Or am I off? Because I don't want to have to keep saying second from the left. I want to be able to say to someone, OSB 3, you know?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, it makes sense to me to use the clockwise method. So the bottom left one, where this, if you're looking at the FLIR, it's the CCD button, and
Right.
starting there and moving upwards would be clockwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, so forth.
Right, but if you start with the OSB for the field of view, for instance, where it says wide or narrow, you would still go clockwise. It's just that now that's number 1.
Right. So what would you like to say is number 1?
Well, that's why I'm asking. I'm used to the bottom left one being number 1, but that's just because of the F-16, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
But I don't know what the current convention is. If that still holds true, or if it's different between the Air Force and the Navy, or what. So that's why I was just putting it out there to see if someone.
Yeah. Nope, don't know. So I mean, it's based on the data we have. I would just make the bottom left one number 1 and go from there.
Because I think even the DCS Hornet guide puts it at the top as OSB 1. But I guess it's subjective, right?
Right.
Alright, Gravy.
Yep, I'm just slowing the FLIR around, trying to locate the airport. I'm probably
Yeah,
just
he's
gonna try to
right
fly
below
over
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so you know
I
where
have
it
a
is.
visual on it. I'm trying to find it inside the FLIR.
So let me
So-
know once you have it locked. Griff, I can have you get set up for pre-plan
Yeah, sure.
for now to start out. Okay, so same thing, GBU 24, make sure your laser's armed, code is in, master arm on, air to ground. Select GBU 24,
Yep.
press OSB 5 for mode.
Yep. CLR PP.
Right, so press that. Okay,
Got it.
mechanical fuse. I think that actually stays the same, but if you want to just be doubly sure, set it to tail.
Okay, set to tail.
And the code should still be set if you step through everything.
Yep.
Okay, so OSB 14, UFC.
Yep.
Press that. Now you see you have an extra line there, CLR, on the bottom.
Got it.
Press that.
Okay, heading.
Press heading. And then figure out at what attack heading you want to come in hot on, and put that in.
Okay.
So it's totally up to you. Or up to the JTAC.
Let's say 090.
I'm gonna run out to the ocean just a little bit to swing around and try to see if I can get a better perspective on it.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, so I typed in 090.
Okay, enter.
Yep.
And I put 090 too. Okay, so if you look in your stores page, under program 1, you'll see the parameters you set, and you'll see a heading line of 90 degrees.
Yep.
Okay, so this is basically the same as straight line is, except now you're locked in more or less to making your approach from the west, heading, well, it doesn't matter where your approach comes from as long as you're heading to the east, 090. There's
Right.
about a plus or minus 20 degree margin of error.
Yep.
But if you want to experiment with it for now before dropping, fly at 90 degrees and you'll see you'll have symbology. And then turn it like 60 degrees, let's say.
Right.
And you'll see the symbology disappear.
Right.
So it's basically deterring you from making an approach and making a drop. Until you get right on, back on the attack heading. Now I think the reason for this, I haven't read up on it much, I think, but to me it seems like that's to help minimize collateral damage and things. 'Cause it
Yeah.
makes you, stick to your course and drop. So I think that's the only real difference and advantage of this mode.
Okay. So when it's not like pre-planned with, like, say, the GPS where you're typing in lat long.
Right, yeah. No, it's not like that.
Irritating.
Yeah, and then the symbology is the same. The way it operates is the same. You still do not get time to impact, but you do get laser countdown. And you can override it. And when you override, it's just like the other override. Whenever you hit the pickle button, it'll drop no matter where you are, what you're doing.
All right, so you can't override it if you have to, and
Right.
But you, of course, again, you need to manually laze.
Yes, that's the main caveat. If you override, you gotta make sure that you've set your trigger to the laser and that you laze it yourself.
Okay.
Okay, I got it locked up. I'm gonna swing around and make a run.
And you have laser armed?
Roger.
Okay, good.
I see a hammer.
So I'm gonna go out probably a good 5-10 miles and swing around and make a run. I'm gonna come up, I think from the north, heading south.
Roger that. When you turn around to make your run, go as slow as you can so we have enough time to go through everything so you don't overfly it.
Yep. I'll bring it down to about, what, 275?
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, you can put your auto throttle on that. Griff, where are you at right now?
19 miles off the target, coming in from the northwest, and I'm getting symbology.
Okay. Go to your HSI. I want to show you something real quick. And scale it so that it's outside of 20 so you can see the zone. It might be kind of small at that range, but...
Okay, I got it set at 80 miles an hour, 80 miles, excuse me, and I have a dot and an orange dot. What?
Yeah, see, it's orange. That's how you know you're in pre-plan. If you're in straight line, it would be green.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't even know this screen was capable of producing an orange.
Well, if you look at your TDC gate and the HSI, it's orange or yellow. So. Okay, now do one more thing. Change it to the SA page.
Okay, I have SA page, yep.
And what do you see now?
Well, it's a bit cluttered. Let me see if I can break it up. I got a yellow box, I think.
Is that right where your TDC cursor is?
Yeah, but I've got a few things going on there, but basically there's a green diamond, I think, in a yellow box.
Okay, so the green diamond is where your flare is looking. The yellow box, since you're far out, it's really small, but it's actually like a cross.
Mm-hmm.
And it just marks where the zone is, but it doesn't actually draw the trapezoid or the box shape of the zone. It just lets you know where it is. So it's more advantageous for you to be in HSI when doing these drops.
Okay. Will the symbology expand as I get close to it, or will it just stay the same?
Yeah, it goes with the scale. So once you get closer and you change your scale, that box will get larger and larger.
Oh, okay. All right.
How you doing there, Gravy?
Making my turn right now.
35 seconds to drop.
Okay, I think I see you.
Now, yeah, I have it tagged on the FLIR. It should pick my target up when it comes back into view, right?
Yeah, if you had it designated beforehand, it should just go right back to where you had last designated.
Roger, I'm getting symbology now.
Don't forget to make sure your laser is armed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hot. I see L arm at the very top.
Okay, that's good. All right,
and
so
I'm coming in from the north.
Yep, I have visual on you.
7 miles target.
Oh, actually, that's Grifter, because they just say a bomb came off.
I'm sorry, 16 miles to the target.
And you're in from the north?
Roger, heading 300.
Laser.
The countdown is time to drop, right?
Yes and no. It says TTMR, right?
TWR.
TW.
I'm sorry, TMR.
Okay, that's time to maximum range. So that's just saying how long it is until you get to your drop zone.
Shack.
Shack.
Now those buildings you can destroy.
So if you look at your HUD, you have this dotted bomb fall line, correct?
Yep, correct.
Okay. On that line, there's a horizontal line towards the top of it that's thick, and a smaller horizontal line underneath
smaller
it.
one.
The top one is maximum range, and the bottom one is minimum range.
Just like with the missiles.
Yeah. Now, the time to maximum range, it's graphically shown on that bomb fall line by a dot, a thick dot. As your time to maximum range decreases, that dot's going to slide down that bomb fall line, and as soon as it hits that top horizontal bar, the time to maximum range, you'll see that that timer has gone to 0. So that means you're in the zone. However, that doesn't mean it's going to drop yet. It will drop like you do in auto. It's not going to drop until that marker hits your flight path marker, or your velocity.
Roger, so I should hold the weapon release button as it gets closer?
Right. Now, if you look down, or look at your HSI page, I don't know if you have your HSI in front of
I don't, I can bring it up.
Okay, yeah, bring it up.
Much more gratifying when it burns.
Okay.
Do you see anything unusual about the HSI page?
Negative.
What's your
Oh
range?
yeah, it has the diamond on there?
Yes, but do you have like a box that's drawn there?
Not that I see, no.
Try changing your scale.
And I need to release this weapon.
10 that's
seconds,
why. Okay.
maximum range.
Go ahead and try to release. I'll show you that later. So you release just like a regular auto drop. Hold the pickle button down.
Okay. Weapons released. Blazing.
Okay, now you notice there is no time to impact counter. You only get a laser counter.
I let 2 of them go.
Okay, did you double tap it or salvo it?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, only 1 went, but I'm
Okay.
a little side heavy now.
Okay, so just keep trying to track that because there's no time to impact button for you to predict when it's actually going to hit. But it will tell you with that countdown how long the laser will continue to fire.
Yep, 80 seconds and closing.
Okay, so just keep that laser on.
Must have hit already.
I think impact, yeah.
Yeah, did you see it hit or anything? No?
The screen got really bright.
Oh, yeah, then it probably did. Okay. Alright, so that's how you do a straight line drop.
Did it actually hit the target?
I myself did not see, but since his screen got blanked out suddenly, I'm guessing that it did.
Yeah, I just picked one of the buildings.
Okay, set it up like you did again. You don't have to be too far out. We're not going to drop on this run. I just want to show you that HSI symbology.
Roger, I'm gonna come around and try to see if I can find it again. I'm also at 5,800 pounds.
That's fine, we're really close to the boat. We can get to like 2.5 and still make it. So.
Roger.
So Griff, if you want to keep practicing, feel free. The only other thing I was going to show you was Salvo. And Salvo works the same as other bombs, just with the symbology, but the symbology is the same in the way you do it. The only thing I wanted to highlight with Salvo is when you select it to Salvo, normally all the stations will highlight, but for some reason it only highlights your current weapon. But if you drop it, it will salvo like you want it to. So.
I don't think I've ever salvoed, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, when you salvo it, let's say if you had 2 bombs left, you select quantity 2, multiple 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the station with 1 bomb and the station with the other bomb would light up.
Right.
And then they all go at the same time. In this, you set the salvo like you normally do, but only 1 station lights up for some reason. But if you pickle them properly, they will salvo as advertised. It's just a weird store's page symbology thing.
Right.
So, how you doing there, Gravy?
Still trying to find the airport again. That's why I really like having waypoints.
Pickle.
Just look along the coastline, because the runway ends right on it.
My biggest issue I think I'm having is trying to figure out which way the sphere is pointing. I'm just kind of aimlessly swirling around, and then I got lucky last time.
So if you look at your SA page, there's actually a green diamond that when you move, go ahead and move your T-Pod camera around, you'll see that it corresponds to the movement of your control. So that's an indicator of where your T-Pod is currently pointing on the SA page. And that should give you some sense of orientation as to which way it's looking.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
You know, the other thing you can do is with the SCS control, you can actually select your velocity vector as your sensor of interest, and you can just put your head out of the cockpit, you know, locate the airport with your Mark 1 eyeball, and then point your aircraft's velocity vector at the target, you know, the airport, and target designate, and then you can, you know, then select your targeting pod as your sensor of interest, and then from there, you know, it'll be a lot easier for you to scroll around the airport to find what you want to hit.
574 clear downwind, 14.
If that makes sense.
311 on course, 4
Gravis here, heading.
040, gonna come around to 000.
Okay, I see ya. Yes, if you continue your turn and head, say about 310, 315 or so.
Yep, I got eyes on the airport.
Okay, yeah. Good. Alright, so go ahead and lock something up.
Picked my last target.
Okay, good. So now that you have it locked up, you're getting the symbology again, correct? In the maximum range counter?
Roger, I'm getting that, but I don't, it didn't snap on the FLIR.
You have it designated though, right?
Say again?
You have it designated in the FLIR though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, look at your HSI page. And zoom it into like 5 miles because you're really close to the target now. Make sure it's the HSI page, not the SA page.
150, study above black side, coming down on course, 3/4 mile volleyball.
You got it?
Yep, got it.
Okay, do you see a box that's been drawn in your HSI page?
Negative. I deselected the target.
Oh, yeah, you have to just select the target. Alright, so come around and try it again. Or not. Basically, it's just going to be a box showing where that launch zone is. It's just a graphical representation if you wanted to see. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when you drop JDAMs, how it shows a zone in your HSI.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Okay.
So you can try it later if you want. We can go ahead and try the pre-plan mode if you want now. Head out to C 270.
270.
Get about like 10 miles of separation from your target. While you're heading out there, if you look at the OSB on the right side of the stores page, it says CLAR OVR.
Copy 49, okay.
That's Clr Override.
Yep. Huh.
And what that does is, if you select that, the bomb will drop whenever you hit the pickle button. You don't have to wait for it to hit the flight path marker, you don't have to hold it down and let it hit the marker and then drop. It will drop as soon as you hit it. It could be upside down, off course 50 miles, whatever. It'll drop. The other caveat about that is that when it does drop, your laser will not fire automatically. So you'll have to hit the MFD button for the laser to the trigger, and then laser it yourself with the trigger. On the plus side, you will get a time to impact counter event. So just keep that in mind, that's what that button is for. I surmise that it is there for if something comes up where you have to make an emergency drop right away, you're being jumped by a bandit and you just want to take the chance of hitting the target and drop it now. You know, select that and they'll let you do it.
Alright, I'm going to swing back around towards the post.
Yep.
See if I can get my clear lined up.
I'm at your 9 o'clock high. Alright, for this one, set your mode to Clr PP.
Say that again.
Set your mode to the Clr PP. That's the Osb 5 in your stores, or in your mode. See it?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. So now that you have Clr PP, your mechanical fuse should stay the same. So I think you can ignore that for now. Same with your code. Now if you look on the right, there's a button for UFC. On the right side of the page, hit that. Now you notice there's an extra line in the UFC for Clr.
No, hang on, I clipped something on accident. Quantity, multi, and INT.
And under int is Clr.
Check. Slightly overshot though, but I damaged the air tower. That was the first off, slightly off the target.
Do you see Clr?
No, all I got is quantity, multiple, and INT.
Where are you at, Hammer?
Rearming, refueling.
Alright, so you're landing.
If you can loiter, I've got a GBU with your code.
Okay, 1588.
Confirm.
Alright, I'll just put her in her orbit. Stand by.
Still no Clr?
Negative, I give up.
Alright, double check that you've selected mode Clr PP.
Hang on, let me just turn the autopilot on and do a quick orbit.
Okay. What's your fuel state?
4,500.
Okay.
You're high.
If worse comes to worse, you can always land at the airbase
Land
you're
at the airfield,
bombing
you're
at.
right.
Yeah, so-
Alright, so storage page.
Yep. GBU 24.
Roger.
Mode. Clr PP.
That's the top one, okay.
Yep. Then on the right, UFC.
On the right, say that again? Oh, UFC, okay.
Now you should get 4 lines in the UFC.
Yep. Quantity, multiple, INT, and Clr.
Okay. Hit Clr. What do you see?
Heading.
Okay, hit heading.
Okay.
Okay, so what heading is, what pre-plan mode is, it specifies in what direction your attack heading is. So for instance, if you want to fly at the target to the east, you head east, then for heading put 090 in and enter.
You want me to type that in?
Put in whatever heading you want. Like right now we're heading north, so you might want to make it 180. And then hit enter.
Okay.
Alright, now if you look at your stores page under program 1, you see...
Up on the right.
Pardon me?
I saw something pop up on the right.
On the right of what?
Wait. On the storage page.
Oh,
upper right hand corner, and then it
the time on
went away.
target? Yeah, that's really kind of useless. But if you look in the bottom right, under program 1, you'll see heading 180 there. Like
Okay.
just above where it says data. Okay.
Yep.
So what that does is going to give you the same symbology as you just saw for straight line. but it's going to limit you to attack with a heading of 180. So like right now, since we're not at 180, you may notice you don't have any symbology at all. And when you start to get to 180, when you're about plus or minus 20 degrees from the attack heading, symbology will start to show up. And it will not allow you to drop anything without symbology and until the flight path marker and that dot marker meet, just like before. So really, the only thing different about this mode compared to the others is that it's more restricted, and I think it's so that you don't go off course too much and cause collateral damage. It makes you drop only on where you said you were going to fly towards, or where the JTAC told you to. Right, yeah. It's just like a safeguard. Now, if you hit the override button, same as before, it will let you drop anywhere, anytime. Okay, so while you have that on, look at your HSI page.
Yep, I see it.
It's orange now, right?
Negative. Still green.
Oh, really? You sure you're an HSI and not SA?
Yep. HSI. Let me just double check again.
Maybe his scaling is too small, too close.
Maybe.
Yeah, I have it set at like 5 miles.
Okay, yeah, open it up a little bit.
Yeah, you want it up to, let's say 40 miles, you should see it.
Yeah, just so your target would be in the range.
Altitude.
No, it still looks normal to me. It's all green.
Go on your attack heading towards it. It may be because since you're off the attack heading, it's not getting the symbology.
Oh, I see symbology now in my HUD.
All right. So
it's
have
giving
a look
me a degrees arrow as well.
Yep. So it'll be like the JDAM again, except this time instead of it being green, it'll be orange. That's to let you know that you're in pre-plan mode rather than straight line mode.
That's really cool.
So go ahead and make your drop anytime you want. Just remember to stay on 180 course heading, plus or minus 20 degrees.
Oh, yeah, I'm still fooling around. I'm still having a really hard time figuring out which way it's pointing.
Right.
Sorry, it's just I don't find it very intuitive whatsoever.
Oh, it's not. It's totally not. That's why I find, like I said, switching my sensor control switch to the velocity vector and pointing it where, just look out the cockpit and see where the airfield is, and then point my aircraft at it and select the airfield as with my TDC, and then, make my sensor of interest my targeting pod, so that then I can, scan around the airport with relative ease, because now you're kind of on the same area. It makes it a lot easier.
I'm actually going to circle around and land. I'm getting down to about 3,000 pounds. I'll refuel and then head back to the boat.
All right.
Hammer, you want me to laze for you?
No, Grifter's got it. If I can get this thing to work properly.
Sure.
Okay. Griff, you want me to laze for you? Or your
I'm out.
Winchester? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I guess I'll head back to the boat then.
Did you drop yours, Bumps?
Actually, no. You're right. I've been so busy instructing, I was like, didn't realize I had all my bombs. Alright. I will salvo them. How about that?
Sounds like a
Griff,
plan.
go ahead and pick a target. Let me know when you're set up.
Sure. I've got the airport tower all picked out for you.
I'm going to land at the airport in a minute right now.
I'm 3 miles from target now, so let me pass it and then turn around so that I have a long time to fire the laser at it.
I'm going to circle.
Are you lasing for me?
He's on 1588.
1588, okay.
Buddy spike. an SA6 somewhere.
Yeah, did you pop an SA6?
I did
saw
not.
that come up earlier.
No, but it will auto-spawn SAM sites occasionally.
Alright, well, that's what it went and did. It spawned an SA6.
It doesn't look like it's near us, so we're okay.
Okay, codes are in, turning in hot. I'm gonna go for a straight line, salvo, and I'm in hot from the west.
Raj.
Actually, you know what? This is a good use of override because the laser is manual. If I used the regular mode, it would laze, and it would follow my laser instead of yours. So let's try that out. Alright, I'll lock.
Oh, somebody's down low.
I think Gravy might be trying to land.
Okay. No worries.
Okay, at 6 miles, I'm turning back around to start lasing the target.
Roger.
Again, the target is the air tower itself, the air control tower.
Roger, is it about halfway along
Actually,
the
hey
runway?
guys, I'm getting a phone call. I gotta jump into work. I'm gonna take off.
Alright, great.
Alright, have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Later.
Take care, man.
Is
Later.
that the building by itself along the runway?
Yes, correct. With the radar dish on top,
The one closest to the coastline?
I would assume. Lasing now.
Roger. 6 seconds. Bombs away. 16 seconds, time to impact. See how it
LTDR.
goes. No, because you're lasing.
No, I am lasing.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Alright. Something flashed out. Did it hit?
You hit?
Here we go.
Yep.
Check.
Nice, it worked. Okay, there's a use for override.
Good hit.
We can use it for JTAGs. Alright.
You
Did
didn't
you
release
turn your
it.
laser off?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
he
know.
followed in on mine.
Say again?
I'm confused. Bones,
No
did
worries.
you
I
use
thought you
my
were lasing for me.
I was.
Yeah.
Well,
and Bones changed his codes to yours.
Right. So I'm not clear on what happened there.
Bones bombs destroyed the target.
Okay, let me
And
select.
you saw it. No, it's too late. Mine's gone. I can only carry one. But I figured out I'm all set up, so that's mostly I want to do is learn the procedure.
Right. So was that what you were trying to do, Bones? Is you were trying to drop on my lays, or were you trying to override drop on your own?
No, I was trying to drop on your lays.
Okay.
And the only way for me to do that would be to hit the override. Because otherwise it would turn my laser on and try to track my laser, which is not the same code as you. So there's the use for the override right there.
Right. If
A buddy
someone
laser or
says,
JTAG. Right.
yeah, I've got a target for you. I'll laze. Hit your override button. And by hitting the override, it'll go down on your buddy's lays instead.
Right, provided you have his code
Right.
dialed in.
Yeah. Sorry, Hammer.
Right.
I didn't realize you had dropped either. So I assumed after Bones lazed, Bones bomb hit,
Yeah.
that you were waiting and I was going to laze for you because of it happening so quickly. I assumed, oh, okay, I'm now lazing for Bones, and when I'm done, I'll laze for Hammer, but you must have dropped at the same time.
Almost.
Okay. All right, RTB. Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Right,
So did it work? You said it worked, though, up to the point that I stopped lasing. It was working the way you expected?
Yeah, everything. It dropped. All my procedures were good. So.
Okay, good. Well, there's that at least.
And I can drop either the 10, the 12, 16, or the 24 from Mirage.
It's a hell of a little aircraft, really.
Yeah.
The more and more I get impressed with it, even though it's like.
Hey, we got something anyway.
Yeah.
Killed an unknown unknown.
Yeah. It's not as up to date as the 18, and yet you can do so much in it.
That's what I'm kind of like. It's pretty cool. There's
on Hoggett kept insisting it was a bomber. And I'm like, it's not. There's a version of it that's actually dedicated to bombing, but the C model is a fighter interceptor. And he's like, no, it's a bomber. And I'm like, it can drop bombs, but that's not really what it was intended to do.
Right, guys, I'll be back. I forgot I have a meatloaf in the oven.
Oh no.